friends, it's Tess. This is Wander Wealthy. Welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas series. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about budgeting for the holidays, and given that it already is pretty close to Christmas time, we're going to be talking about budgeting for 2018. So if you feel like you've spent way too much money already this holiday season and have completely blown your budget, then this video will be a really great way for you to set up yourself for success for next year. I know it seems kind of ridiculous to be doing it so far out in advance, but I promise you if you follow this methodology, you will have plenty of money stashed away so that come the holidays of 2018, you're going to be so ready for Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating, your bank account is going to be thanking you. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos all about money, travel, and personal development, which I do on a weekly basis. Plus, you can be notified over the next 7 days of the rest of the 12 days of Christmas. So whether you're watching this now in 2017 around the holiday season, or you're watching this in 2018 because you're just thinking about how you're going to have to afford the holidays, it doesn't matter when you're watching it. Just know that you can apply this strategy at any given time in the year, but it's way better if you can get started a year in advance. But however the cookie crumbles, this strategy will really help you be able to afford those expensive times of year like the holidays. This is the exact strategy I use when I'm educating my students that are in my money program on how to prepare fully for the holidays, or when they have other times in the year that are super expensive. So if you hate going into debt or you hate blowing your budget throughout the holiday season, then this video is perfect for you. Let's get into the strategy. So the first step is just to look at what you've spent so far this year on holiday gifts and spending. Consider everything from travel, how expensive it's going to be for you to travel home for the holidays if you are, or it's hosting. If you're hosting or you need to bring a prepared dish or even decorations, how much is that going to cost? Consider how much you'll be spending this year or how much you've already spent, and make sure you add that in. The other things obviously are to include the gifts. How much have you spent in gifts? Make sure you total that up, and anything that you expect to spend over the next coming days before we really get to Christmas time, figure out the total amount and get that down on paper. Whatever that number is, that's probably what you'll be spending next year, but if you have any idea of new family members that might be coming into the family where you need to buy them gifts, or maybe you'll have a partner at that time but you don't have one now, consider all the options and just budget for that just in case. Any money you end up having left over next year will just be for you to spend anyway, so you might as well budget conservatively, meaning you want to save as much as you possibly could even imagine thinking. If I don't expect too many changes for next year, I like to add just about a 10% buffer just to be safe. Now you want to be realistic with all this too, so make sure that you are kind of backing up and thinking, okay, realistically what's going to happen? How is this going to pan out? But of course, budget for anything that could potentially pop up in the meantime. So whatever this total number is, considering how much you've spent this year, predicting what you will be spending next year, and adding that 10, even maybe a 20% buffer, that's going to be your total holiday spending allotment for next year. So we're just going to call it the holiday spend allotment for 2018. Now you're going to divide that total number by 12. Reason being is that from now on, here on out, starting in January of 2018, we're going to be sending that number, the total spend allotment divided by 12, to a special savings account specifically for holiday spending. So to review, step one was to figure out how much we plan or predict we will be spending next year. What is that total holiday spend allotment, and don't forget to add a buffer. Step 2 is to divide the holiday spend allotment by 12. This is the monthly amount we want to be putting away so that by the time we get to December or whenever your big holiday is, you will have that number. Now, if you are starting this mid-year, let's say you just found this video in June of 2018, just calculate how many months do you have left until that time of year comes where you have to spend all that cash, and divide by that number of months. So now that you know, next month you have to pull whatever money from your paycheck to that special account that's marked for that specific holiday or other expensive thing that you're trying to get. Okay, moving on. Step 3 is to open up a separate savings account specifically for holiday spending. Now, if your bank doesn't allow you or offer the opportunity to open up a separate savings account for free or without having to hold on to some sort of minimum amount in that bank account, then you may want to look elsewhere. There are really great resources online, and even finding online bank accounts, banks that run online, are a really great option for you to stash away your cash for the time being. With a simple Google search, you can find some of the best banks out there, and most likely they're going to be online banks, but they offer this flexibility of opening up as many savings or even checking accounts that don't require you to pay a monthly fee or hold a certain minimum dollar amount in that account in order for you to have it. What I mean is, you want to be able to not have to spend any money in order to have a separate savings account out there for you. A really awesome resource for doing your own research and comparing all different financial tools and instruments and banks and credit cards and investment options is NerdWallet. I love to use NerdWallet to figure out what the best free online banks are for me and what offer the best interest rates when it comes to savings accounts, and I can compare and contrast between all of the different accounts out there. They really scour the web to find those best options, so then once you look at what the options are, you can kind of dig into each individual option and pick the best one for you specifically. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Ally Bank. I can't recommend them enough, and since I use Ally Bank personally for my own checking and savings needs, it is super easy for me to open up an additional savings account specifically for holiday spending. Even if you don't have Ally Bank set up, it's super easy for you to open up a bank account and a savings account with them too. But find whatever bank works best for you and just go open up that separate account and try to do it before January of 2018, or just the first month where you're going to start saving for that holiday spending or whatever other expensive time of year you're saving for. Some banks even offer the ability to rename your bank account, so I literally like to rename it as my holiday spending account. So to reiterate, step 3 is to just go open up a new savings account that doesn't cost you any money to have, but you can have it out there for you, and it's specifically for that holiday spending. All right, that takes us to step 4, which is to actually make the transfer. So beginning in January or beginning in that first month of your strategy, you're gonna take 1/12 or 1 divided by the number of months you have left until you need to have that money saved, and transfer that money out of your paycheck into that separate savings account. You can do this 2 ways. You can either directly add this savings account to direct deposit so that your paycheck can be direct deposited into that account if your company, HR department, whoever employs you allows this capability, or you can just make an automatic transfer from your checking account right after you get paid and transfer that to this separate savings account. If this savings account isn't open with your regular bank, you can still do an automatic transfer and transfer from bank to your other bank. Whether you do this manually right after you get paid or automatically, either way is going to work. Obviously, automatically will help you stash that cash away without even having to think about it and without being tempted to spend it because you see it in your regular checking account. And then we get to step 5, which is to actually use that money once you get to the holiday season. By the time you are at the holidays, you will have saved up 12 times the amount that you are transferring every month, which equals 100% of the amount you wanted to save throughout the year. Now you have that amount you predicted you would spend last year, and you can go and spend it on your holidays, whether it's actual travel expenses or hosting expenses, decorating expenses, or gift expenses. Just know that this is now your holiday budget. So if you happen to save up $1,200 throughout the year, so $100 every single month, then you have $1,200 for yourself to spend on all of these different holiday spending buckets. Make sure you stay within that budget, but now you already have that money pre-saved. You don't have to go into debt for holiday spending. You don't have to completely blow your budget or use your emergency savings fund to buy your mom and dad gifts. And now you can spend guilt-free for the holidays. I hope that this video helps you in planning next year's holidays, and I hope it doesn't make you feel too bad about the fact that you didn't implement this last year when you were planning for this year's holidays. But it's really just an educational opportunity for you to start implementing a strategy that will really work and really get you far and beyond ahead of the rest so you can celebrate your holidays financially stress-free. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite part of this new strategy is. And if you've already been implementing it, then I want to hear what has worked and what hasn't worked for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos on a weekly basis, and join the Wander Wealthy private community. We're at wanderwealthy.com/FB if you want to get your invite, and you can join the Wealthy Wanderers as we set goals, achieve goals, and I share exclusive content for you. Plus, you can be the first to know when I launch my new money program, where I share this strategy plus many, many more to the members and the students going through the program. Until I see you in the many different ways I can see you and get to know you, I hope you wander wealthy and have a happy holiday.